Why on earth is this woman still breathing? Can we kill this witch yet? Now, if you don't know who I'm talking about this woman called Lisa Letby. She was a female nurse in the UK that was in charge of looking after children. Now, as a nurse, you have this higher responsibility. What does she do with this responsibility? Now, I've covered this story before, but she's been convicted now, sentenced to a lifetime in prison for every child she murdered. Now, I think she's killed 7 kids, 7 newborn babies, and tried to kill another 6. So let's have a look at what she did. She deliberately injected babies with air, force-fed others with milk, and poisoned 2 of the infants with insulin. Now, like it says here, she killed 7, like I said, 7 babies, and attempted to kill 6 more. The doctors said at one point when they found one of these babies, they've never seen so much blood come out of an infant in all his career. Now, I've got a few clips to show you. Some of them is a news clip. The others are clips of body cam footage of police officers going to Lisa's house at 6 o'clock in the morning to arrest her. And it's fucking hilarious because she opens the door with this smile on her face, thinking it's a fucking postman, not knowing that she's about to go to prison for the rest of her life. And it's just fucking fantastic because when she comes out 10 minutes later of the house, her facial expressions change night and day. Her facial expressions is what you would call, I fucked up and I'm going to suffer for the rest of my life for what I just done. And you know what? You should suffer. In fact, you should be fucking executed. So without further ado, here's the clip of this ugly witch getting arrested at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, Lucy, is it?
Yes.
Hello, my name.
Look at her face. Look at her face. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. She's still got a hot cup of tea on the table. Her toast hasn't even popped up yet. And she thinks she's going to start the day as normal. She thinks she's got away with this. And she's opened the door and realised she's fucked up.
Chest, please. Locate Stefan, 2 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, not a problem.
I can't stop laughing at this image. I can't look at her face. She's realised she's thrown her life away. She was a nurse who looked after babies and ended up as one of the most notorious baby murderers. She knows every member of her family, her mum, her dad, who worked their asses off raising her, is going to know this and find out what she's done. If I fucked up ever had a facial expression, this would be it, 110%.
Yeah. I'm going to put you in the back seat over here.
Hold on, man, to
Yes.
get this seat up.
Okay, just take a seat in there for me, Lucy. I'll move that seat forward a bit.
Yeah, I just had knee surgery.
Oh, right, okay.
Now, of course I feel sorry for the families of these babies that have been killed, but I want to focus on Lisa's parents at the moment. These people worked their asses off for over 20 years raising this piece of shit, putting her through school, college, university, working their asses off, paying for all of this so she can throw it away. I'm sorry, but I would, as a parent, I would want her dead. You ruined your life, and not only that, you fucking ruined ours. We could have spent 22 years doing something else, but instead We dedicated ourselves to raise you, and you threw it away by becoming one of the most vile things on the face of the planet, a baby murderer. You deserve to be set on fire. Now, I'm going to show you a short clip of a judge sending her to prison, and the thing that's upsetting the parents the most, not just for these kids, but other parents are in the UK, we have a law that protects these criminals. So when they get sentenced, they can choose whether or not to be in the courtroom with the victims' families. So this dogshit human being wasn't there in the courtroom with the victims' families. And this is going to be changed very soon, apparently, because the families want these murderers to look them in the eye and see what they've done, to see what the devastation they've done to these families. Now, I feel so sorry for the mothers, because you've carried this child for 9 months, and in that course of 9 months, you've literally decorated your house, you prepped everything, welcomed this child in, and some of them were twins that she killed. And 9 months of this preparation, and you hand your child over to a stranger that you were told to trust, and this fucker kills your kids? I can't even think of the anger these parents are going through.
Was a cruel, calculated and cynical campaign of child murder involving the smallest and most vulnerable of children, knowing that your actions were causing significant physical suffering and would cause untold mental suffering. You created situations so that collapses or causes of collapses would not be obvious or associated with you. You removed and retained confidential records of events relating to your crimes and checked up on bereaved parents. There was a deep malevolence bordering on sadism in your actions. During the course of this trial, you have coldly denied any responsibility for your wrongdoing and sought to attribute some fault to others. You have no remorse. There are no mitigating factors. In their totality, the offences of murder and attempted murder were of exceptionally high seriousness, and just punishment, according to law, requires a whole life order. Lucy Letby, on each of the 7 offences of murder and the 7 offences of attempted murder, I sentence you to imprisonment for life. Because the seriousness of your offences is exceptionally high, I direct that the early release provisions do not apply. The order of the court, therefore, is a whole life order on each and every offence, and you will spend the rest of your life in prison.
Which is bollocks, because a whole year in prison costs taxpayers about £38,000. That's just for one person. She's there for life. She could still live for another, 50, 60 years. It's gonna cost us so much money, millions, keeping this bitch in prison. And you want to know where she's going? Oh, of course she's going to prison. But you want to know what her prison looks like? Her prison cell looks like? Because to me, in the movies, a prison cell looks like this. This to me is what an average prison cell would look like. I would be happy with this. Oh, actually, I'd be happy if she was fucking dead. But I would be happy if she was in here. Just looking at 4 walls, painted white, for the rest of her life. But see, she doesn't get this because she's in a female prison. You want to know what she gets? She gets this. Yes, this cozy little feminine room is what she gets. And if you see in the top corner here, the clothes store, yeah, they get that as well, believe it or not. She would be spending her life for free in a hotel, technically. This cozy little shop that she can go to every single day to get new clothes with the money that she'll probably make behind bars. It's absolutely disgusting that we have to pay for this. This is what we have to pay for. For child murderers, child rapists to have a life like this and stay in rooms like this. Because in Britain, we don't want our prisoners and our rapists and our child killers to be uncomfortable behind bars now, would we? Now, if you don't believe me that this is going to be her cell or what her cell would look like, I've actually Googled the prison where she's going, and I typed in prison cells, and this is what came back. This is what these child killers are getting behind bars. This level of luxury. Televisions, computers, probably mobile phones. This is what they're getting. They're getting a free day, or a free life, sorry, in Butlins or fucking Disneyland. This is not prison. This is like an old age pensioner home for the most vile human beings on the planet. And guess what? We are funding this shit. We are the ones, as taxpayers, who are putting our hard work into places like this so these vile bastards, these rapists, murderers, child killers, can live a life of luxury for the rest of their lives, comfortably. Now, I hope the inmates in this prison will fuck her up, because in male prisons, if they find out you're a child rapist or a child killer, you're getting your eyes gouged out. Either that, or you're going to get stabbed up really badly. So instead of paying thousands upon thousands towards millions of pounds, keeping her in prison, put her on a plank of wood, slide her head in a hole, and say goodnight to this bitch. And then celebrate with a nice cold pint, and tomorrow we're hanging a paedophile. Right then, ladies and gents, I'm going to have to shoot off now, but I just want to say thank you so much if you've got it this far into the video. I really appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, if you found my video by accident and you want to subscribe, please do so. It's entirely up to you. You don't have to, but I would appreciate it. And ladies and gents, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Take care.